Alright boys, welcome back to another video. On today's video I'm going to be installing the engine cradle and timing chain and on the head. Before I get started, I wanted to show you guys something. I ended up buying my cam gear housing for the EVO X. It's a billet from Torque Solution. And the reason I bought it because I noticed that the belt head that I bought doesn't have this housing. And I was reading online that it's recommended to get these housings because they tend to break with upgraded valves. It's something about putting stress on the springs and it ends up cracking the housing, something like that. I'm not too sure, but the point is I decided to get this shit because I might as well do it now. I don't want to have to do it later, and I don't want to have to risk that shit breaking on me. Other than that, let's get started on putting on the engine cradle. Like I said before, make sure all your shit is clean. I'm gonna rub all this shit in by finger right now. I don't know, man. I might have put a little too much, but I'll take out as much as I can. I'm trying to clean this shit up real good. I don't want this shit fucking up on me. Cool. Get these bolts on there. Just gotta hand tighten them. Like I said, you gotta wait 30 minutes. Although I probably took like 30 minutes cleaning that shit up. But it's just 6 bolts. Just hand tight. So there's gonna be a sequence to tightening these bolts up. I'll tell you guys the pattern right now. I'm gonna wait the 30 minutes and then I'll get back with you guys. All right, so it's been 30 minutes now. So the torque sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's gonna be 19 foot-pounds. Just get it. All right, so now we get to put this gasket on. All right, boys, it's the next day. I ended up putting this shit on off camera. My fucking GoPro ended up dying last night, so I just ended up doing it. All you gotta do is put your same shit you put on the block, the 3-bond 1215. You can see where this gasket's gonna sit, so just rub it just like you did on the block. And these are to be torqued down to 89 plus or minus 17 inch-pounds. So I just went 100 inch-pounds, called it done. And then, so now we're gonna put on the oil pump. I already have all the, I was spending some time in the morning taking all the shit out that I'm gonna need today, so clean all that shit up. So a lot of people like taking this little sprocket off to put the oil pump, but you guys don't have to. There's a way to do it. All you have to do is engage the chain in the back. Engage it here now. Once it's engaged, see how it's engaged right now? You gotta go ahead and put it on your oil pump. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Should turn with it. Either it'll be 20 plus or minus 1 foot-pound. I'm gonna go 21, fuck it. Cause I'm a savage. Cool. Alright, let's get the little guides on. Alright, so the chain guides is gonna be torqued down, same shit as the cap of the rear main seal cap. 89 plus or minus 17 inch-pounds, or 12 plus or minus 2 meters. What is that shit called? Newton meters? So basically the same shit. Dang. Alright, boys, so I went ahead and put the block on the engine stand already. Should be good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and put the ARP stud heads on right now, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I might as well change the housing right now before I put anything on, because I gotta put the chain on this thing. We're not gonna put the head on right now. I'm just putting the studs. There is a torque sequence, supposedly in 3 steps, up to 90 foot-pounds, but right now I'm just gonna put them on hand tight and leave them there, like leave them as is until I get that head finished. So it's fucking cool. Look at that. Alright. Yep. Gonna take this bitch off. See how it goes, boys. See how it goes. Alright, so we've obviously got to take this spring out first. So let's get that shit off. Get a pair of needle nose. And then let me get a chair so I can sit down and do this shit right. Alright, so much for doing the fucking housing on the cam shaft. You need a special fucking driver. I thought I had it, but I don't. It's 30 IPR socket drive. They're not the star ones. Don't even try using the star ones. Those are not the ones that work. Alright, boys, so I guess we're gonna go back to putting on the head. So you guys can go ahead and get your block cleaned up. Make sure everything's clean. I already cleaned all this shit, so just making sure every other little part is cleaned. And go ahead and get your oil. What's the thing? Your oil feeder valve. And you gotta put some 13 what is that thing, that 3-bond shit on here, right on the tabs. I'm gonna be using the OEM gasket also, so this shit's beautiful. All right, so go ahead and put some more on the top part of the gasket. Right on the tab. All right. Now we could go ahead and before we put the head on, you guys want to put those washers on the timing side of the camshaft, because there's a bitch to put on after the heads are on. Holy shit. Spring covers. Alright, let's go ahead and set it up there. Oh yeah, she's in there, boys. She's in there. She's in there, playboys. Whew. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and torque it down. Before we do anything, I gotta tell you guys something. These are a bitch to get to. It's a 13 millimeter, but you're not gonna fit a fucking socket in there unless you get like a short stubby one. I ended up, I don't have it's a 16 tooth, I believe. Well, it's a 16 tooth, but I ended up getting a regular socket. What I think it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 point socket. I grinded it down. You still gonna have to grind. If you have a stubby one that's a 16 tooth, you still gonna have to grind it down and make it fit in there. See, this one fits now. So I'm just letting you guys know, be prepared for those two. Those two are a bitch. So have that ready before you guys do anything else. But now we're gonna torque them down. So the first one, here's your torque sequence right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're gonna start off with 30 foot-pounds. And then we're gonna go to 60. I hope that socket doesn't break on me. 2. Kinda gotta fuck with it and get it in there. It's not engaged yet. You gotta be able to feel it. There you go. Now it's in. 30. Now good luck getting this bitch out. She's in there fucking grinding another one. Alright. That one's done. 8, 9. Switch back to this bullshit. Cool. Now I gotta go ahead and do 60 pounds. But you guys get the deal. I'm trying to show you guys how this thing actually did work. So, alright. So let's go ahead and finish torquing these down and move on from there. Alright, boys. I'm still here torquing down the heads. Can't find that socket. That socket that I grind down earlier, it wasn't gonna work. You have to get the 12 tooth one. So make sure you don't use this one. Don't use a 14. Use a 12 tooth. And if you find a 13 with a 12 tooth this small, it'll work. You can grind it down. It works. And this is one option. There's another option too that I did because I don't have a 12 tooth 13 socket. I ended up getting a half inch 12 tooth socket, which works the same way, same size, with a reducer, a quarter. It's a 12 tooth half inch socket, 1/4 inch drive, and then I added an attachment to a 3/8 quarters 3/8. See that? You can see here I welded on. And it works. The only reason I welded it because you have to torque it to 90 foot-pounds. It worked for the 60 foot-pounds, but I'm not gonna risk it with the 90 foot-pounds. So I ended up welding it, and it's gonna work. So I'm just letting you guys know. Just get a short, stubby 3/8 socket, 13 millimeter 12 tooth, and just grind the ends down. And you should be good. And this is another option too, but it's probably gonna be a harder option for a lot of people because you do have to weld it, and a lot of people don't have a welder at home. So, but just letting you guys know. Wow, that took forever. All because of a stupid little socket you need. Some bullshit. Alright, boys, it's the next day. I ended up putting the cams already, and I ended up not changing the housing on the exhaust cam shaft because I read that a lot of cars had issues with the torque solution cam housing replacement, and I just didn't want to fucking do it. Fuck this. I was already doing it. I was already changing it. I even got the screw for it. I ordered that shit right here. The IPRs, 30 IPRs. They're not the TTs. And I already had it changed, and then I started doing some research, and I realized that a lot of people had issues with replacing these, and these OEM ones do just fine. The only reason some people replace them because I guess they have higher horsepower cars, and I'm not gonna get that high of a horsepower. I'm not gonna get no 1,000 horsepower, so I ended up keeping it OEM, and I read that a lot of these OEM ones are good up to like 900 horsepower, so there's no reason for me to change it. I ended up putting it back. Now I'm putting I put on the caps on the cams. I'm gonna start torquing these down in order. These are gonna be torqued down to 106 inch-pounds, not foot-pounds, inch-pounds. And then these are gonna be torqued down to 22 foot-pounds. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll start putting the timing on. Cool. Now these other ones are gonna be 22 foot-pounds, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Cool. All right, let's get the timing chain on. All right, so before you put the timing chain on, let me take this shit. You want to align these notches here. See this notch here, this notch here. You want to line that up to the surface of the head, right? And then once you do that, you want to get your timing cover on. It's on right now. Put your sprocket on, well, your pulley, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And you want to line up your pulley, and as much as you can. Line up the T, this little indicator right here, this little notch here, to the T on the timing cover. So that's right there for the time. So you gotta turn this over about I want to say 45 degrees. So let's go ahead and turn that. Hold on. Alright, so you guys can see the notch. Fucking focus, fucker. And right there, that notch is aligned with the T. So if they're lined up, once they're lined up, you can go ahead and put the chain on. I'll show you guys how to put it on. You can take the timing cover back off. You don't have to have it on anymore, unless the shit moves again. So. Alright, so this is my chain. You guys can look at your chain. There's a darker linkage. There's 3 of them that are darker than usual. That's where you gotta put your align your sprocket with that dot here. So you probably can't see it on camera, but see that little mark? That's one of them. And then you have I was barely able to see these, so I don't know if catch it on camera. And you have another one right here, and then you have 3 of them right here that are darker than the other ones. So that's gonna tell you those are the ones